Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. You know, I sat here for a good 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Trying to think about what I was going to say about this episode. I still have nothing. I have nothing. I sat there and I tried to think about all the different tips that I've learned over the years. In Rock TV, and even James. I don't want to sit there and say even James, but you know what I'm talking about. JLJ Media, I gotta be honest, I got nothing in this episode. Nothing good anyway. I don't know what the hell they're doing with TJ. I don't know if this guy is a recurring character, but he came in here once. He talked about Rory, said he was a good guy, and that, he hopes that they find the killer. Yeah. Does anyone actually remember the last time he had in the Trinket storyline? Was it like, what, a year ago? What, a year ago, right? Brando and everything like that? Yeah. And ever since then, yada, 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 yada. You know, watching Ava really unload on Liz about the whole affair with Nicholas and everything, and the new baby, and the constant threats. So you don't know what pain is. You're gonna find out what pain is sooner. You're gonna find out what pain is. This, that, and the third. All that bravado. And then after she learns that the baby, after she, learned that um she had a miscarriage or whatever, that Liz said, let's be honest, they were not going to go through the theatrics of a fake baby bump and everything like that. They were not going to pull a Brooklyn. So, after all that, she meets up with Nina later on, and she's like, as much as I want to go into those two, is it really fair for me to do, given that they lost their child? That whole church scene, the whole, oh, she's going to confront her and everything like that, it just all went right down to absolutely nothing. Now, the part that was laughable, okay, because I did enjoy, I think maybe one part in this episode, was Liz after Ava left and she's sitting there confessing her sins and she's all like, oh, but I'm a good person, all right? I'm a good person. Andre was like, Liz, you haven't been a good person in a very long time, but in reality, you're human, okay? You're human. That's what you are. You're not a bad person. You're not a good person. You are a human. You have messed up before. You have done things, very, very, very questionable things, but you're a human. So this whole, but I'm a good person, all right? Liz, just, it's just like, what do you even say to that? Now, when Spencer found out about what Nicholas did, or, the story that he's meant to telling people, what's worse than somebody being mad at you? Wild guess. Disappointing in you. You ever had your parents disappointing in you? It hurts so much more than when they're mad at you. Because when they're mad at you, you can sit there and you can be mad at them back. You can sit there and be like, oh, well, you're yelling at me too harsh, or you were sitting there saying mean things. But when they're disappointed, oof, it just hurts. And that's what Spencer was. After he laid into him about, you know, that he, taking advantage of Liz and Liz being in a downward spiral for a while. After all that, he's like, just when I didn't think it can get any lower, You always meant to exceed my expectations pretty much. It's like when I get my money, I'm out. I'm out. I'm going. At first, he was sitting there talking about Rory, the character that didn't bother to do anything with, to make his death scene of interest whatsoever. I mean, that whole scene again, and I talked about this yesterday, and I'm probably going to be talking about this for a while because they bring it up. They bring it up. But, the whole death scene was just bad all around. From the fact that they didn't bother to try anything with Rory to make him interesting, to Tatiana's fake crying. It's always bad watching the scene when you have these actors, and it doesn't matter if it's Tatiana, it doesn't matter if it's Cam. We have these people that's doing these crime scenes and there's no tears that's coming out their eyes. It just it falls flat and it just looks really bad. But, he felt like he was useless, like he couldn't really do anything. He just had to sit there and stand by and hope that he's needed. But yeah, he laid into him and then he was just disappointed. Man, I wonder how they're gonna sit there and fix these scenes. Because then there's some scenes where Mark is supposed to be in to do whatever scenes that they need them to do. And that's not going to happen now because he decided to be caught up in his feelings. So Drew confronts Denise. Carly's there, and Denise tells a different version of her story. Another lie. But this time, oh, whoever this girl's parents is, or whatever, there's a lot of danger that's that they're following behind them. So, I wouldn't sit there and poke too much into it and poke the bear and stuff like that. Like, whatever Harmony was running from, it must have been really bad, so just leave it alone. But it really didn't do anything because it just strengthened his resolve to try to find, um, you know, Willow's parents. So Carly's gonna have to sit there and go overboard and overtime, still try to stop Drew from finding out who, um, that Nina is Willow's mom. So Denise took her last little bit of payment, and then she just pretty much skipped town. Nina sat there talking to Phyllis, and she talked about the baby that she didn't have, and that was just because I'm not gonna lie, it just kind of seemed like it was out the blue for her to sit there and talk about Silas and their child and how she didn't have it and all that other stuff. Well, she talked about her argument, Willow. The argument where she decided to berate and bother a pregnant woman to the point where she collapsed. Yeah, that argument. Just getting texts from Cam, so that they're asking if she alright. Meanwhile, she's sitting there just talking it out with Dex and hugging Dex. And, Dex is all like, oh, so do you regret our kiss? Yeah, I didn't either. Then she sits back down, she screams in the pillow because she, at this point, she keeps talking about how she is stalling, she's procrastinating because she's a coward. So at least she does own up to that. But it doesn't do much to sit there and say you're a coward. I mean, the thing is, there is a 95% chance that she is not going to tell Cam, and that Cam is going to sit there and find out the hard way. Because this is soap opera, okay? But let's just think about this for a minute. If Josh told Cam, hey, things have been working out for a while, not really, I'm not really feeling this relationship, and also I've been making out with this other guy for like a while now. I think we did it like twice or three times. I've lost count. But yeah, that too. She just came out and just told the truth. Just be looking at it like, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good point for actually owning up to it, but it wouldn't be as dramatic as in Cam finding out the hard way, which is 95% chance that's going to end up happening. I sat there and I was like, I feel like I'm done, but I don't think I am. Then there's the whole Cody and Dante and Mac and Sam stuff that didn't really go anywhere. Not really. I mean, Dante was out. He's still feeling bad about what happened to Rory. Sam does not want to be bothered with Cody. Cody keeps getting up in her face. And so they get to talk about Dante. And she's like, I haven't seen him since last night. He hasn't came home or whatever. So Cody calls Mac, and Mac talks to Dante. And Mac gets Dante to go to the gym to meet up with Sam. And they did a good thing. They I don't want to just say they parent trapped them, but you know, like I'm gonna be honest, this episode, this episode wasn't really that great. It really wasn't. It really wasn't that great. This is one of those things where it's like I was really trying to spin. I don't want to sit there and say spin this video, but make it more positive than what the episode was because the episode really didn't give you much. It really didn't. Um, even seeing TJ just made me more sad because I was like, bro, remember you used to actually have a story? Liz, that they're talking about, am I a good person? And, of course, Carly's still sitting there lying to this woman's face, yes, and just smiling, and, smiling in Willow's face while lying to her. And, of course, it's frustrating as viewers because every time that Carly derails Drew's search, it just leaves Willow one step closer to death. Now, apparently Willow's on contract, but I'm like, how are we sitting there doing this whole contract thing? Her character is on, one second. I don't understand how her character's on contract and she's on stage 4. Okay? She looks like death every time you see her. She literally looks like she's at death's door every time you see her. But yet she's on contract. And apparently, I guess that means that she's safe. Whatever that's supposed to mean. So I don't understand how they plan on making this whole thing work. Anyway, that's pretty much about it. I can't really think of anything else that happened in this episode. It was just another episode. Now you can sit there and do your laundry, wash your clothes, whatever it is, cook your food, and you really wouldn't miss anything in this episode. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching, be safe, and I will see you in the next video.